And so it's like everywhere I go.
It's on the streets, like in your neighborhood, or having a
Not the neighborhood, people at church, people
at Daystar.
People at Daystar, people at Whole Foods. I'm so sorry, Josh, for what you're going through. It must be so horrible. You know, I saw this and they...
What do you know about you said they're spewing all this venom on the media. Like, what, are you watching everything?
No. Okay. I get some updates from people. I get stopped on the street and get updates from random people that I don't even know.
Another secret leaked, and this time it is so real, so layered, and so widely discussed that the comment sections across the internet have practically caught fire. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel more than you know, and I truly appreciate every single one of you who supports this investigative work. Now let's get into this unfolding storm. For almost a full year, quiet whispers, private messages, and public allegations have hovered around the Daystar network like a dark cloud refusing to move. That cloud has now burst open again, because Julie Roys has just released new blog evidence, pulling back the curtain on what many insiders already suspected, but were too afraid to say out loud. This time it's centered on the man the Roys report once referred to under a pseudonym, Pete. The figure at the center of a storm of family conflict, network controversy, and troubling accusations. And now his real identity has been spoken clearly. But to understand the weight of this moment, and to understand why the internet is exploding with reactions, we need to go back to the beginning. We need to go back to the first time this story broke. And we need to understand how deep the fracture runs within the Lamb family. Because what we're looking at is not just a misunderstanding, not just a family argument. This is a saga that has reshaped careers, split a dynasty in half, shaken the Daystar audience, and prompted more than 24 ministries to distance themselves from the network entirely. This is a story of leadership, loyalty, secrecy, silence, and desperation. And now we have new police interview footage, new statements, new confirmations, and new doubts. Nearly 1 year ago, the Roys report stunned the Christian broadcasting world. They released an investigation alleging that Daystar TV, one of the most influential Christian networks in the world, participated in a full-scale internal cover-up involving deeply inappropriate behavior directed toward the young daughter of Jonathan and Susie Lamb. Immediately, the world split into two sides. There were Jonathan and Susie, the parents who raised concerns after witnessing behavior that deeply troubled them. They brought forward allegations, sought accountability, and insisted the matter be examined carefully. And on the other side was Joni Lamb, the network president, the matriarch, the public figure, accused of minimizing, dismissing, and protecting the individual at the center of the allegations. Aligned with Joni were her daughters, Rachel Lamb Brown and Rebecca Lamb Weiss, along with their spouses, all of whom play significant roles within Daystar. This wasn't a small disagreement. This was the Lamb family torn straight down the middle, with careers, reputations, and decades of ministry on the line. The consequences were immediate. Jonathan Lamb, formerly a Daystar vice president, lost his job. Susie, his wife and on-air co-host, was also removed from her role. Meanwhile, the individual referred to as Pete, later revealed as Josh Brown, continued in his position at Daystar without interruption. Fast forward to today. Julie Roys has released exclusive video evidence, police interviews, conversations with detectives, and statements directly from the Lamb sisters and their husbands. These interviews were conducted in January 2025, and for the first time on camera, we hear the Lamb daughters wrestling with what they believe happened. Their tone changes dramatically between the first and second interview, and that shift is one of the most significant revelations in the entire saga. On January 21, 2025, Rebecca and her husband J.W. sat across from Detective Nick Garcia of the Colleyville Police Department. Their statements were cautious, uncertain, weighed down by years of conflicting stories within the family. They admitted suspicion but also expressed confusion, reflecting a family trying to navigate between loyalty and truth. But something changed between that interview and the second one. Something important. Exactly 1 week later, on January 28, 2025, the couple returned, and this time, their tone was unmistakably different. Gone was the hesitation. Gone was the diplomatic neutrality. In its place was a startling clarity. Rebecca said, "My initial thought was that Josh did do something, and going back to this letter and then talking to the housekeeper, It confirmed what my gut said all those years ago. The housekeeper. The previously quiet figure who became one of the strongest confirmations in this new wave of evidence. According to the interviews, she witnessed some of the events directly. Her testimony reinforced the concerns Jonathan and Susie raised years earlier. But the second trigger was a letter. A 2021 document written by JW that detailed his concerns about Josh. A letter he had once given to a family friend, only to forget its contents until rereading it just before the second interview. The incident at the heart of everything took place at a Daystar executive retreat in Miramar Beach, Florida in August 2021. Daystar had rented a large vacation house for its leadership. During the retreat, Susie told her 5-year-old daughter to go upstairs and change into her bathing suit. Moments later, Josh followed the child upstairs. Jonathan then discovered Josh in the bedroom with the child in a state that immediately troubled him. This moment shattered the family. It became the catalyst for everything that followed. Rebecca asked Detective Garcia, "If you heard someone say, 'Go up and change,' why would you follow them up the stairs?" Her question echoed the horror many viewers have expressed online. JW, too, expressed frustration and exhaustion. Near the end of the second interview, he even asked, "What's the time